News stories were coming in about this strange virus in Wuhan, China. It was weeks before we saw the first cases in the US. As the numbers went up each day, my curiosity got the best of me, and I started plotting the curves. Here's stories from real people all over the world and how they've responded. I'm Sally Hendrick, founder of Shout Your Cause, and this is COVID-19, The World Responds. Hey, Zan Phillips, how are you doing?
Good. How are you?
Good. Good. It's good to talk to you. And I know that you're a nurse.
Yes.
Tell me what's going on.
So I was an ICU nurse in the Nashville area and also a hospice nurse. I did in-home hospice for years. My heart got a little tired. I got kind of, that was a very intense job for a lot of years. Mm-hmm. And so I have moved into the plastic surgery field. So I worked for a facial plastic surgeon for a year, and then I do all injectables at a local aesthetic spa kind of place. I guess it's a medical spa. So I do injectables, Botox, filler, all of those things, mm-hmm. Any injections, IVs, those things.
So are you guys shut down right now because of COVID-19?
We are closed, and we were laid off. The whole staff was laid off, and with the caveat that we will all come back as soon as we can reopen. So, there's so many words: furloughed, laid off, whatever.
Right.
So our official word was laid off, and so we could file for unemployment. Mm-hmm. And that's something that is a whole nother ball of wax. But I've also been contacted by several local hospitals to be a part of the pandemic response team. So it's like an 8-week contract where you would be a contracted nurse. You go in the hospital for the next 8 weeks. And at the end of that 8 weeks, they'll reevaluate whether they need you to do another 8 weeks mm-hmm. to help until this all dies down. So I don't really want to do that at this time. And I'm fortunate that we are in a place financially where we don't have to do that at this time. But, who knows if this lasts until August, maybe a different story.
That's true. And it could last until August. What are you hearing from the inside?
So in the medical community, just in kind of what I've heard, and I have tried to stay disconnected because social media and TV just limit it because it can be very overwhelming. So I have talked with a few friends in the business and medical, and so they are all saying that it's going to be at least until July. At the very least, we mm-hmm. may be looking, will the kids start school next year, was the latest question. And mm-hmm. I'm like, I don't know.
So are they thinking then, as far as it's going to be until July, do you think that means that we would be in this situation where only essential businesses are open for that long?
That's a question too. So an essential business is weird because car wash is deemed essential, I guess, because all the car washes are open. And I know you don't have to necessarily get out of your car, but some people do and vacuum. I think essential may be more well-defined in the next coming weeks and then be redefined as to what can happen. Yes, you could drive your car through a car wash. Yes, you can go to the dentist and have your teeth cleaned, but they're going to space out your appointments. They've told everyone to not do their routine well visits or any unnecessary medical treatments. Mm-hmm. That's why we are closed. Getting a facial from one of our estheticians would be really hard to keep a 6-foot distance.
Right.
So, that's just not possible.
I've even heard that we probably will need more distance between people at some point, but obviously that hasn't come through the official channels yet.
Yeah, I have heard that too. And I've heard now we are to wear masks mm-hmm. during all of this, whether you're out and you feel great, because you don't know if you're a carrier. You don't know if you are asymptomatic, but you could be spreading, just talking. You have enough droplets that can contaminate someone. So it's to protect everyone. And so that's a new, everyone should have on a mask when they go out. That's a new kind of thought process. It used to be only if you're sick, but I get it. We want to keep everyone safe. So I think things will keep changing and evolving. No one knows what this looks like in the long term, but mm-hmm. everyone is trying to do their best. So it just continues to change and evolve.
And you're in Tennessee, I'm in Tennessee. And so obviously the culture here and what's happening right now with this is all very different than what we're seeing in other places. Like New York, of course, is under major crisis situation right now. California has shut down 40 million people in their state, basically, and on their orders. And they're, really being strict about all of that. What do you think about where we are right now in Tennessee of what's happening?
I think that we are slow to the ball game. I think that we are responding. I live in Rutherford County, which is south of Nashville. Davidson County is Nashville. They responded more quickly. I work in Davidson County also. So they responded more quickly. Rutherford County, I know that where I go and work out, exercise, did not close till the 23rd of March, which I feel I didn't go for 2 weeks before that, thinking,
right,
surely they'll close. But Rutherford County has been a little slower to respond. I know I'm not sure what day they did I think the 23rd was their first mandatory close date, because that Saturday evening before that, there was a restaurant down the road from us. It was packed. I mean, there was a full dining room. We drove by like, are you kidding me? I don't even want to go to the grocery store.
Now, do you see most people that are in the medical field feel the same way you do about how that's going? Or do you see differences in opinions even within the nursing community?
I think it's differences of opinions across the board. I mean, everyone agrees that we need to stay safe. I have spoken to some ICU and ER nurses that say, it's just like SARS and MERS and Ebola was when we were all there. Same kind of precautions. No, none of those things became this magnitude of a problem, but
right.
We did the same precautions. We had the same protocols. It's just on such a greater level. So the nurses that I know, wash your hands. If everyone washed their hands like we're doing now, the flu and pneumonia would be so much less.
Mm-hmm.
Wash your hands is a great habit to adapt every day of your life. And so as nurses, you can't think about how much PPE is being missed right now, because you still have to go to work. So you have to just go, I'm strong, I'm brave, I'm going to drink my vitamin C and drink my water and keep working. So I'm fortunate that I'm not on that front line, but I know what it's like, and I have many friends that are.
Mm-hmm. So in other words, some people may think that enough is being done and some may not, but we're also talking about Tennessee. We're not at that critical level yet. So
I think that maybe last Wednesday, people really started to get it. I think that it really kind of hit home. I'm now talking to friends socially that are like, oh, I'm not going to go to the store. I don't even know if I'm going to go pick up a to-go order because I'm a little more leery. I'm like, well, it's about time. Let's get it. It's time. Okay. It takes, something like New York on the news for people to kind of hit home and get it, that things are not easily managed.
But even so, New York is still pretty far away from us. And so I still feel like there's a lot of people here that it's kind of a mystery as to
California,
what's happening.
New York, those big liberal cities,
liberal states, and
Jesus, it's all good. I think there's a little bit of that. Truly, there is. People they just think it's not me. It doesn't happen here.
Right.
So, and that's unfortunate.
Well, hopefully by the time I get this out to the world, this recording, we won't be seeing worse situation. But I mean, obviously the projections are saying that it will be worse, and that because people have such differing opinions and are not necessarily doing all of the things, and you even see it across the states, like the governors in certain states are not shutting things down as quickly as others, and then you're also seeing each mayor and so on and so forth, right? So, and then essential businesses, like you said, the definition is going to change as to what's essential. I know that in Italy, they cut out all of the leisurely walks and exercising outside as well, because it was getting so bad.
I heard that Georgia opened their beaches on Saturday to exercise. Which is just bizarre. I know we've closed our state parks. We enjoy hiking and going outdoors, and we hiked probably 2 or 3 weeks ago at a location close to town, and it was packed. And I'm like, the trail's this wide. We can't stay 6 feet from people. I know we're all outside, and it's supposed to be good for us, but I think that was a requirement that had to happen. Yes, I'd love to be camping and hiking right now, but no, it's not. We're supposed to stay at home. A stay-at-home order means stay at home.
Exactly.
There's not really a lot of, gray area on that one.
Yeah.
I was in Montgomery, Alabama, driving through and stopped for gas. And when I stopped to go in to use the restroom and get a water, we weren't allowed in. They only allowed 6 people in at a time to their gas station, and the lady was at the door with a mask and gloves holding us back. We had to stay apart, which was great. I loved that. I thought, okay, good. I didn't want to have to go in here anyways, but
exactly. Yeah. It's like, I don't want to have to go, but you do have to go. Okay. Was there anything else that you're thinking about? Like, is there anything you're fearful of?
I am just fearful for those that are maybe isolated in a home with a domestic situation or an alcoholic that's not a pleasant one, or, all of those things worry me. I worry about children in the environment that they're in, because, I have children. I have one here that's not in school, but we have fun. He's made 90 puppets and done a million crafts, and we've baked and all the things, but I worry about the kids that don't have healthy relationships with their families or with, in general. Right. So that worries me. The mental health, the mental kind of pulse of the community bothers me, because I know that some people are completely isolated if they're doing it right. And that can be scary for some people. So yeah, I worry about that aspect of it. Yes, I don't want to get sick. I am a healthy individual. I know it doesn't matter. We don't know how this virus will affect each individual. I don't have any pre-existing conditions that would definitely make it bad. So I know that any asthmatic child, and in hospice work, I did so much work with children that, were teetering on the edge. And so if they get something like this, it's going to be a devastation that's just a little too soon. There's a 100% chance that we're all going to die. We can't get out of it, but let's not hasten it. Let's do it, in a nice way. So I just worry about those that get taken just a little too early.
And then what about your hopes for what will come of this after it's all over?
Yeah, I've thought a lot about that. I think that my hope is people will realize what makes them really happy, what they enjoy, how important it is to slow down. I've had many friends say, I didn't realize how overbooked I was. Well, no kidding. You're taking your kids 90 places, scheduling your social events. You never stopped and looked at anybody. You never really heard what anyone else had to say. So I hope that we can all be better listeners. We can all enjoy showing up for work, even if we don't love it. We have a job to go to. Should change that atmosphere, I would hope, a little bit to be more grateful, So I can't wait to hug all my friends. That's my favorite.
Yeah, I do miss the hugs.
Yeah, I'm a touchy-feely, so I really have a hard time with not. When I see somebody, I'm like, I just want to grab you.
Well, thank you for talking with me today.
Yeah.
Anything else you want to add?
No, I appreciate you doing this.
All right, you're welcome. All right, thanks, Zan.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, bye. Thank you for listening today. Subscribe to this podcast to hear all our episodes. Go to shoutyourcause.com to our podcast page for information on our guests and notes from this show.